For our final, we're going to be using Smartboard Recorder to present our Wix. Smartboard Recorder allows us to show our screen and our movements on the screen while giving also audio. So Ms. Farr is going to hand out the talking points worksheet, which is basically just a summary of what you need to talk about while you're going through your Wix. And she'll also hand you the Smartboard instruction handout to basically show you how to use the Smartboard Recorder, which I'm actually using right now for the demonstration. So the first talking point is an introduction. During the introduction, you're going to say your name, grade, school, tell why you entered 2020 instructor program, and also your future educational plans. So that can all be done basically while and you can also scroll through the front page of your Wix. Number 2 is you're going to summarize your resume. So I would suggest going to your resume page and pulling up your resume and just talk about your goal, summarize your work experience, activities, and awards. After that, you're going to do your philosophy of ed. So you can pull that up, and then basically you're going to summarize your educational philosophy paper and highlight 1 to 2 teaching terms that you see as critical or interesting. Next, you're going to talk about your observations, but I thought this was a good time to talk about your blogs, because your observations from first semester on my Wix, I just have them as my papers that I wrote. So I'm going to pull up my blogs that I did. Oops. I'm going to pull up the blogs that I did, and you're going to mention the teachers you work with, the grade levels, the subjects, tell which of your internships was your favorite and why, and talk about your blogs and like how that helped you report online. And then you can also scroll through your internships while you're talking about that. Next, you're going to talk about your lesson plans. So you're going to go to wherever your lesson plans are located. I have mine with a media collage, and also the links to my lesson plans are on here too, so if I wanted to pull them up. But basically, you're going to pick probably 1 lesson plan that you like that is your favorite, and you're going to summarize the lesson plan, the objectives that you covered, your execution of the lesson, the student's reaction, your collaboration with the teacher, the assessment or the rubric, what you would change or keep the same and why the lesson was appropriate for that group and how you knew that. So basically, I would just pick a lesson plan that I want and pull up the paper, or I would pull up it and I would talk about this stuff as I scrolled through. Next, you're going to talk about your professional reading. Mine is not on my Wix. I have not added it because I did it a year and a half ago. So wherever you keep your professional reading, you could do that. But next, you're going to talk about your research. And for my research, I'm going to talk about my independent studies project. So I did a sociocultural education project for my 3rd semester. And basically, I'll just give a brief summary of what I did, summarize your main topic, what you learned, and what impact it has on education or on your role as a teacher. Next, we're going to talk about the field trips that we took. So you can pull up wherever that is. So you could talk about Greenbush. Like I know I have a page for Greenbush in here with the PowerPoints attached. You can basically pick any field trip, talk about one of the field trips that you participated in and what you learned from the experience. Next, you're going to talk about professional development or community service, which I also have that under my project slide. Okay. So I could talk about FCCLA because we do a bunch of community service in that club at my school. Summarize some of the activities that you've done and discuss the learning that you acquired from doing these activities. And how these activities enhance your role as a future teacher. And you also should discuss 1 to 2 forum topics on which you had discussions that you see as critical or interesting. So that's where I would pull up my forums page, and I would talk about one of the technology forums that I read, and also about Ron Clark, because Ron Clark inspired my 3rd semester project. Last is you want to talk about all the pictures that you took. I don't have one, or I have like 1 page with all my pictures, but if you don't, I would suggest just pointing out the pictures as you go through your presentation and explaining like what you did in each, but I have all mine on 1 page. And then last, you're going to close, and you're going to basically summarize your experience and what you've learned and how this will help you in the future as you go on to college. And that's it. Have fun.